Hey, welcome to Friday night's vid. Tonight we wanted to discuss a very simple concept of taking a break. I've studied music, audio engineering, acoustics, all kinds of things related to music, including music itself. One key aspect is the overload factor. I have gone through phases where I've studied really hard to where I would study night and day all the time. I'd just be going. Sometimes I would just be, barely getting through it and just rolling along. And sometimes I would just need to take a break. And one defining factor in this concept is when it's something that's artistic that you're creating, it may be more necessary for you to give your mind a rest. Not only your mind, but your body also. Because artistic creation can sometimes be a little bit different. Not always, but sometimes a little different than just studying and learning. Because you're actually creating. You're trying to well up feelings and emotions and, route feelings and emotions and try to conceptualize and voice things that are basically revolving around a lot of times what music is, what boils down a lot of times to not only the musical foundations of the basic concepts and theories of music, but also those that might be applied to any specific form or genre. And you are trying to apply feelings and emotions and sort them through, bring them up, being able to express them and work with them, which can be very tiring. So with that understanding, we've got the last two videos we talked about you being the next hurdle, and we talked about learning muscle memory, and you getting on the bike and learn how to ride that new path until you're flowing along. And those are huge concepts. And we've addressed a whole lot of most of the other concepts. As you go through, you will probably find yourself investigating and learning different techniques, different types of styles, licks and runs and practice routines and different compositions and pieces and your own compositions and composing them and learning different ways to do that, or experimenting and reaching out and checking out some new views or looks at how that might be done that might improve you yourself if you can apply it to yourself and see that it's something functional for yourself. And that can go on and on and on. That may or may not ever end for you. Does that make sense? Depending on how deep you go and how how rabid a type of individual you are about going after it. So at this point, after those last two things that we talked about, being you and learning and things like that, is taking a break. This very simple concept of take a walk away for a little bit. Put down the guitar or whatever instrument you're playing and walk away. Give it a week. Just walk away from it. It can have a whole lot of different things. First of all, is that, even when you go to sleep at night, that your mind takes things and sorts things out while you sleep. It really does. I'm not sure. Nobody knows for certain how much it does, but it obviously takes that break time and kind of sorts things out. Does that make sense? And lets things absorb. Does that make sense? And on top of it, gives you a break from the constant input and you trying to sort that input out on the fly as you're going through your day. Does that make sense? And so to walk away for a more extended period of time, like 3 or 4 days or a week or something like that, can be very good for you. Sometimes even up to a month, and just walk away for a while. Set it down for a little bit and walk away. Give yourself some time to just let other things absorb, to give yourself a break from it, and you will come in maybe letting yourself have sorted through some things and also a little freshen up a little bit. That means you can get off doing something else for a little bit and then come back. You might rest. You might, instead of that time you were practice writing or creating or whatever, you might just go sleep for a while. You might do that for a week or so. At that time, I'm going to go lay my butt in bed. I'm going to go sleep for a bit. And those times that I was working on, I'm going to go to sleep if I can. And sometimes you might go find something else to do, maybe painting or poetry, or you might, get out and garden, or who knows, go to Wild Ways Adventures, at the park or something, Disneyland. I don't know, something that just gets you away from the music and your studies that are related and intercorrelated to whatever you're trying to do. That break is very important. The whole concept at this point, after the last two videos, that you should by at this point have a pretty good understanding what direction you really need to be going in and things you really need to be working on. And it should be pretty obvious. If it isn't pretty obvious by now, that means you probably need to go back to the beginning of this guitar series and really go through it again and really, let those things sink in again. But if you've gone through it and you don't find yourself going back to a lot of the other videos to, branch out and explore those concepts and ideas and where all that might lead you, at this point you might just need a break. You get burnout, or you get writer's block, or you just get, just tired, and you're not feeling creative or productive, and you're just, you're not really finding motivation, and it's really hard to bring motivation into whatever you're trying to do, it may be time for you just to take a rest, and that can be sound like, well, how do I do that, bro? Is it like some kind of new technique you got for resting, bro? And it's like, no, bro, just rest, sleep, eat, exercise, sleep well, eat well, and those things, really focus on that, really, a mental and physical thing of just relax, bro, and let your feed the mind, feed the body, food and sleep, food and sleep and exercise, and really just take a break from all that other stuff. And you'll find yourself come back really refreshed. Even maybe take a couple of days where any chance you get, you just fall on your face and go to sleep, bro. Sleep. If you can get 12 hours of sleep tonight, take it, bro. Jump in bed. Yeah, dude. And just, and take it, bro. I mean, you might do that for a week or a month. I mean, who knows? And you'll be surprised how beneficial that can be. Just getting away, and really just giving yourself a rest and a break from it. Sometimes it's good, to, even when you're recording, to just walk away for a little bit. You got something really going on. Today, I'm just not messing with it. I really have had this thing going on, and I'm going to walk away for a day. I'm just giving myself a rest just for today. I'm not practicing, and I'm not trying to work on this composition. Every now and then that can be very healthy also, but sometimes an extended break can be very warranted, to where you take a week or a month and just walk away. Just walk away from it. Even somebody a weekend, it might be 1 day, it might be 2 days, it might be 3 days, it might be 4 or 5 days, it might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a couple weeks. To where, like, you just need to get away from it. And you'd be surprised that that can be very helpful sometimes, to just help you just get yourself rested, so that you come back at it with some refreshed and renewed motivation that basically, comes from the care that you gave yourself, and really, looking at, getting good rest and some really good sleep, eating really well, exercising, and taking that time you'd have been doing those other things to do a little bit of exercise. Take a look at your eating and you're doing it. Get more sleep, and rest, or just plain relax, bro. Sitting in your garden watching bugs fly around flowers. I don't know, bro. Just doing, does that make sense? I know that sounds funny, but that can be very therapeutic and very helpful. Maybe use some meditation, or something like that can be really nice, sitting around with some incense, and your little homemade waterfall thing, and just sitting there just relaxing and smelling the incense and just relaxing, taking a few days doing that, or a week, who knows? I mean, you're surprised how much that can refresh you, so that you can find some renewed motivation in whatever you're doing. So I don't want to get into this too deeply, but I mean, you can Google and look around on the internet about, getting good rest and getting good sleep, and, how much exercise do I really need, I mean, things like that, and doing some meditation, and just, refresh your batteries, bro. And, that whole concept really is it, after the last two videos, that you more than likely if you really think about it deep enough, it can probably pop into your head anyway about taking a little bit better care of yourself, and focusing on, the care of yourself and development of yourself, as then and then applying that to whatever the heck you're doing with music and the guitar. So this is a logical next step for you, so that rest really becomes an important issue. So that every now and then you really stop looking at something else might be the problem, and you just might need to take a break. It might not be that you da 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 da, or that you might da 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 da, or that da 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 da. It might need to, you just need to set the damn guitar down. You just need to set the guitar down, and you need to go fall on your face on a pillow, and and get some more sleep. Stuff your face really well, and then fall on your face. Duh, and rest, bro. And it can be that simple. And it's a very healthy thing for you to understand that, because it can be very helpful. Meditation's a huge thing, because sometimes you can sit down and just, do some serious meditation, and it just relaxes you and gets you more focused. And then, towards your end of your meditation, if you really need to get jived and rolling, bro, well, at the end of your meditation, you start thinking about something rolling. At that end of your nice relaxing meditation to get you rolling again. Does that make sense? So you don't walk out of your meditation like, I'm a zombie and everything's all flowery life. Because I don't really need to be in the middle of that in this next production, bro, because I get nothing done. You know what I'm saying? So that might sound funny, but you might want to look at that, but it can be very helpful, to pull yourself out of that, get you pumped up again. So, it's a very huge concept that, that some people take very lightly in their life, that every now and then you just need a damn break, bro, and you just need to really relax. Take a deep breath, you take care of yourself, get as much sleep as you can, eat as good as you can, get some exercise in to get, shit flowing around in your brain and your body the way it's supposed to, and your cardiovascular system doing some damn thing besides just, turning into a couch potato, while you sit, does that make sense? Sometimes you may get a lot of that anyway, some of you may not. So it's something to look at, but that rest is really important, and that break is really important. So I felt that was probably the next most important thing to address, is at this point, if you've watched all the videos in my series, you're probably getting some really good trackage as far as what direction you're going on. And after the last two videos, I'm really looking at you being the problem, and really looking at the next video of, the learning process, and, muscle memory, and, memorization, and building up your strength and that stuff like that. And just plain, learning to ride that new trail until you do it well. That, the next thing is just, more than likely that you need a break. You really need a break, and just sit back, take a good break, a good rest, and, and freshen yourself up, bro, so that you can come at it again, a fucking live wire, bro. And does that make sense? And it's a real serious thing to really look at, that it may be something you need to do. Especially when you run into things like you got lack of motivation and you feel all melancholy and stuff like that. That's a good chance you might need to take this break. You start feeling unmotivated. You start feeling writer's block. You start feeling like it's, you are going around in circles and you're not finding any inspiration, that you're just nothing's inspiring you or anything like that. Or you're just plain tired of studying, and it's like, you maybe the study is, you're not, Joe Satriani yet that you wanted to be, and, you're really tired of studying, bro. You just are, bro, and I still do not sound like Joe Satriani, bro, and I don't know, bro, I practice hard all the time. I mean, you just need a dang break, bro. Does that make sense? You need to take a rest, you need to take a break, and walk away for a little bit, and rest yourself up, and take care of yourself for a little bit, and then come at it fresh again. Does that make sense? And when you come back off your break, really take a look at what you're doing and where you're at, and trying to find some new inspiration and some new motivation, and and get really think about it when you're coming back in after a really good rest, because you probably have had a chance for your mind and your body to really recuperate from whatever the hell you've been doing to it. Does that make sense? So you may be able to get some new inspiration or new motivation from things that weren't inspiring you before or weren't motivating you before because you were just plain damn tired and beat down. You know, and it's that simple. You're tired, you're beat down, you're wore out, and you were just not getting no dang inspiration and motivation out of nothing. You might turn around tomorrow and you sit around and turn on your iPhone, and all of a sudden you're looking at the ocean there, bro, and you're like going, "Whoa, bro, that just motivated me." The blues and the greens and the little frothy thing, and I just got this motivational thing. I know that might sound funny, but sometimes inspiration and motivation works that way. And whereas you were looking at before, nah, I never even seen the ocean or the beautiful girl or the flower or nothing, bro. You know, and you needed some damn rest, bro. And I was like, whoa, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds funny, be very true, because you're recharged, you've taken care of yourself. You can, some of those things you might have been walking past as a zombie, all of a sudden you are refreshed, and you are healthier, and you're awaker, and you're feeling a little more jazzed up because you got some things going on, and juice is flowing, and you might not miss that as much, and it's like, remember the old saying about don't forget to stop and smell the flowers, because as you get going and doing shit, there can be times in your life where you just get too busy to stop and see that beautiful motivational flower, bro, that you just don't stop and go, "It smells so cool and looks so beautiful. It's such a cool thing." You may get to where you start getting zombified, to where you start getting tunnel vision, not seeing things that can be very inspirational to your life. And so, sayings like that have come up over history to get you to force yourself to stop when you are getting your zombie mode. Does that make sense? To where you don't turn into a complete zombie, and go into the corner and drool on yourself. There's not a lot of motivation in that. So that can sound very funny, but it can be very true, because when you come back, some of those things that you weren't finding motivation at all or inspiration from might be catching your eye, because you're moving around a little bit better and you're rested and you're just jazzed up, bro, and good to go, and you're seeing it and you're smelling the flower and you're seeing a little girl, you're seeing the beautiful girl, and da 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 da. Does that make sense? And and I try to drive that home, because some people go, yeah, right. Well, I mean, they might, does that make sense? There's a chance, historically, but the chances, if you listen to that and you really let that sink in, that when you come back and you go back at it, that you're going to might see some inspiration in some things that you didn't see inspiration in before, that were right in front of your face. So I really hope that you enjoyed the series so far, and I certainly hope that this video helps you understand that, bro, every now and then you gotta stop, take care of yourself, get a good rest, and take a break, bro, so you can come back and find some serious inspiration and motivation by things that were probably all around you to begin with, but you was getting zombified and not seeing it around you. Peace, hope, love. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.